I've always been told that you can't drink red wine with fish. Well, I tell you, you can, actually. And sometimes it's also enjoyable. There are some red wines, like a special wine from Sicily, Fiammata, which is perfect with fish. Bibemus fratres. Let's drink, O brothers, to avoid that the devil take hold of your souls.
Tutte le strade portano a Roma.
All roads lead to Rome, and all our senses to Italy. History, architecture, food, lifestyle. Now, a short journey through the amazing culture of Italian wine.
Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned the culture of wine, because we do think that it's a cultural fact. When you drink wine, you can realize that the main ingredient in wine is indeed culture, in the form of tradition. It's a great tradition in Italy, of course. I would say that, as most important things in life, also wine has been invented by the Greeks and brought to mass production and organization by the Romans. So it's a long-standing tradition of the Italian culture.
Italian wine is considered the final frontier of wine knowledge. Mr. Ambassador, let's start with Sangiovese, Sangue di Giove.
Sanguis Jovis, yes, it's not only a wine, it's a wine in itself, the Sangiovese, which is located in the Romagna region, in Emilia-Romagna, but it's used as grapes for several blends. Even the most known wines, Brunello di Montalcino, Morellino di Scansano, you have plenty. They are basically made with Sangiovese grapes, blended with other grapes and in different proportions, of course, including a wine from my own region, Rosso Piceno. And among others, the most known ones, maybe Barolo, Amarone, Barbera, Lambrusco, Chianti. Chianti itself is made mostly of Sangiovese.
So Brunello, Chianti, Barolo or Amarone?
I confess I'm partial to Morellino di Scansano, which comes from the same origin, Sangiovese. A local production very limited to the area of Scansano in Tuscany. But of course it's a matter of tastes, so disputable like all tastes, and linked to personal reasons or life experience.
We all know and like Prosecco, but there are also Lambrusco, Franciacorta. Which is your favorite spumante?
I confess that I'm partial to Prosecco, which is originally located mostly in the Veneto region. You know, you see that I always mention the origin of grapes, but that's also a peculiar fact of Italy. The production is of incredible variety. That's our richness, I would say, a peculiar richness, because all regions, but all provinces, mainly all towns or villages, have their own wine. With their own grapes. We have more than 350 different grapes in Italy. And if you take into account the fact that such grapes can be differently mixed or blended, you come out with an incredible variety of wines and brands, all different from each other.
Papa Francesco dice, senza vino non c'è festa. Wine is also a sacred drink. How does it make you relate to spirituality?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes. Wine drinking is, as I said, not only a cultural choice, but also a very intimate experience, and at the same time a social experience, because we Italians, we rarely drink alone. We drink in company with our friends, so it's something to share, and so there's also a spiritual ingredient in that, but at the same time it's intimate, because once you quit the party, you have your own experience of that party.
You have one of the most famous cuisines in the world, but a meal without wine is a day without sunshine. This is Italian proverb.
That's more or less what my grandparents would say. When my mother was like, I think, 14, she's been taught by her parents to drink wine. a lunch or a dinner without wine is not complete. So she was taught actually to drink wine. She was, commended to do that, because at least a glass of wine per meal is sort of compulsory.
Mangia bene, ridi spesso, ama molto. Is this the Italian recipe for happiness?
I think it's a good recipe. I don't know whether it's Italian or not, but I think we Italians, we adhere to that. Yes. Life is made of not only of great pleasures, but of daily routines, rituals, you know. Sometimes it's also important to pair food and the right accompanying wine or other drink. Though there's maybe too much stress about that. I've always been told that you can't drink red wine with fish. Well, I tell you, you can, actually. And sometimes it's also enjoyable. There are some red wines, like a special wine from Sicily, Fiammata, which is perfect with fish.
Your Excellency, are you a wine collector?
No, I'm not, sorry. No, I'm a wine drinker. Collecting would be a terrible waste.
The first glass of wine in your life?
We should really go back in time, because, you know, my family used to produce wine, so I was born with wine. And maybe the first taste of wine I had in my life was unexpected and unwanted, because as a kid I was asked to help decanting wine from Dame Jeanne to bottles, and so I used a tube, and I was inspiring, and I didn't mean to drink it, but I did.
If you own a vineyard, what slogan would you choose to promote your wine?
Bibemus fratres, which is let's drink, O brothers, but addressed to monks, which is actually part of a longer sentence, which is let's drink, O brothers, to avoid that the devil take hold of your souls. Salute!
Salute!
Toate bune pentru România și Italia!